Managing change on a software delivery project can be challenging at the best of times. How often have you found that you're halfway through a project and the requirements were wrong, or that you found that key customer priorities had changed? Or if you're working on a complex first-of-a-kind project or one that involves new technology, how often do you encounter delivery issues? One of the factors that make dealing with change so difficult is when silos exist in an organization. And during this demonstration, we're going to look at how we can begin to bridge the gap between all of the different stakeholders that are involved in delivery using rational solution for delivery management. We're going to start off playing the role of the delivery manager who's going to review their delivery plan. They'll see that there's a defect that's been raised by one of the testers, and they'll explore some of the development artifacts such as the requirements and the plan items against that in order to make a better assessment of how to manage that change. Do they need to de-scope the requirement, or do they need to negotiate with the project sponsor to move the business need to the next release? So as a development manager, I can use a set of dashboards to help me to track how I'm progressing on my software development project. I can manage the delivery by exception by highlighting things on the dashboard that need my attention. Here you can see that there are two open high severity defects. I can see a quick overview of those defects, and this gives me traceability to the requirement that they are impacting, and I can also see the traceability through to the test execution result that has where the defect was identified. So as a development manager, I can drill down into the detail of the release plan to make an assessment of the impact that the defect is going to have on my ability to meet my delivery commitments. And this is a typical view that the delivery manager could use to see what the work the development team currently have, what spare capacity there might be, and whether the defect that's been identified could be accommodated by assigning the work around to different resources. If my resources really are truly limited and I don't have any spare capacity, I could look at ways of de-scoping the requirement to support this. So directly from the release plan, I could drill down into the defect. I've got traceability through to the requirement that defect was addressing. That requirement itself is part of a larger collection of features that meet a business need. So as a delivery manager, I could use the traceability into the tooling that's used by the project sponsor to get a better understanding of the benefits that the project sponsor is expecting, and I could use this as a way of gauging whether I can de-scope or whether I need to negotiate with the project sponsor about moving the business need to the next release. If I can't meet the scope of the business need, then I could raise a delivery issue which would be visible on the project sponsor's dashboard. And this would give the project sponsor a high-level view of the impact of the delivery issue. And if they wanted to, they could drill down into the underlying detail, and they could have a window through into what's happening with delivery, similar to what we saw from the development manager, where they could see the traceability to the other requirements as well as to the tests and the test execution results where this has been identified. The project sponsor and the delivery manager could then look at what's currently in scope for the current release. They could look at how that could be de-scoped and still meet the business need, or potentially it could be that the business need just gets moved to the backlog. And then that starts off another discussion in that if there is now additional capacity within the delivery team of all of the things that are in the backlog now, maybe the project sponsor and the delivery manager could review which of those things to target for the current release. So from the project sponsor's perspective, they might have a rank ordered list of the business needs which they've ranked according to their priority. The delivery manager might have an estimate of the development risk that would be taken on board, or the estimated effort for meeting that business need, and various what-if scenarios can be explored to see, of all of the things in the backlog, what collection of scope could then be moved into the current release within the resource constraints. So all the way through this, the project sponsor can get a good view of where we're at with delivery, what have we delivered, what we're currently working on, and can use that to minimize any surprises that might occur further on down the line.